good afternoon, and welcome to today's Forge Your Future Friday. Yeah, I'm late, which is really unusual for me. I don't even know if this video, oh, yep, there we are, we're working. There's a little bit of a delay in the connection on many levels at the moment. And as I say, I'm late, and I kind of started to berate myself for that, and then just thought, you know what, better late than never. Which feels like the theme this weekend. I'm aware that there's a few things going on. I think Pluto, I'm not an astrologist, but I think Pluto for the first time or something is going forward into movements that we're never going to see again. And Pluto is obviously the planet of endings and rebirth, and it is linked back to 2008. It's quite big from now until I think the 17th of November. And when I tuned into that today, there is a sense of better late than never. But there's also, for me personally at least, I can't speak for anybody else, but there's also a feeling of feeling done. Yeah, like really getting to that point of having enough. When I tuned into that today, there's no comments yet, so I'm going to carry on. When I tuned into that today, there was a feeling of enough of what? What really have we had enough of? And that could be something very beneficial to focus on this weekend and into November, but particularly for now. What have we had enough of, really? Because in that we're going to hopefully get the answers, what it is we need to move forward. I'm acutely aware that the energies are smack bam in between what was and what could be. And there's a lot of noise and a lot of distraction going on to try and get us out of the present moment. Sometimes the present moment can be really difficult to sit with. And we want to do whatever we can not to be there. However, by being where we are, obviously not putting ourselves in a place that isn't safe, but by being where we are and supporting ourselves through whatever we're feeling, new things can come in. We all know about transition, whether it's childbirth, whether it's a transition of someone that's crossing over, or whether it's that sweet spot between change. It can be uncomfortable, but it's uncomfortable because we are almost torn. We don't want to be in the situation that we're in, but we're also not quite sure how to move forward. And we're going to feel that from now until, the middle of November. We're going to feel as if nothing's changing, but also that we desperately want things to change. And it's going to cause a bit of tiredness if we try and force or push what's going on. And it feels really important to focus on the things that we can shift and to be with what is occurring. I just walked upstairs, and as I came through, the postman has delivered 2 letters, and they're both from my husband, and one is about I assume anyway, about his old career, and the next one is a pack for his new career. And that's literally the energies today, literally the energies for the next few weeks, smack bam in the middle of it. Things are changing, things are shifting. But the thing that we need to rely on the most is ourselves and how we see ourselves. So that's the other thing that's coming up, how we perceive ourselves. I wrote a post today with the daily guidance. I'm very aware that I come across as the class clown. I'm very aware that I come across with a lot of colourful language. And I don't take things lightheartedly, but I try and bring the irony forward so that I don't take myself too seriously, because I've seen many people do that throughout their life and not live their life as a result. There's the other side of that I play the class clown and downplay who I am, because that's driven by my ego also. If I'm the class clown, I'm not taken seriously, I don't have that responsibility. So this weekend, being very aware of your shadow, being very aware of the things that we believe make us authentically ourselves, and what is actually driving them. Are they supporting our authenticity, or are they helping us to cover them up? Because underneath mine, there is this calling to step up and step into my power, not for anybody else, but for myself. I've just shared a poem, a beautiful poem that will come out on Facebook and Instagram in a couple of hours, because it feels like that's when the energy will shift. And that's important, to share things when the energy is able to receive it. I've just shared a poem, and it's very much about being cornered to stand into our own light, and that is what we may face. over the next few weeks. Yes, Pluto is going direct. Yes, the universe is supporting us, but the other side of it is what we do with that. So we can sit in the discomfort, or we can see it as an invitation to call ourselves out and stand in who we are. It does go back to 2008. It is related to aspects back then. So for me personally, there's a lot there in regards to redundancy and standing in my career and success. So thinking back to whatever was going on for you and knowing that you are supported for these changes and these shifts and transitions, but how important it is to sit with what is occurring right now so that you know what it is you actually want to bring in from the perception that you have of yourself. If we continue to see ourselves the way that we once were, without everything that we have gained or experienced along the way, we're going to continue to get those lessons to help embody that wisdom. If we continue to see ourselves purely based on the wisdom alone, there's going to be a need to be more compassionate to the process. So keeping that in balance this weekend is going to be key. It's not all about what we've discovered. It's not all about the pain. It's about a beautiful mix and blend of both. So there's no one here at the moment. So what I'm going to do is pull a card or two for the weekend to tune into that. I will give you a sneaky insight. I haven't written the blog for next week yet. I'm not sure if I will. And again, that's that energy of whether or not we feel we want to continue down certain paths or doing certain things. That's really going to come to light this weekend. But if I do, or even if I don't, the theme tune almost, those that read my blogs regularly for the full moon and new moon will know that there's always a musical song. And the theme tune that keeps going around my head is Beauty and the Beast, a tale as old as time. We are still in the strength year for the next few months, and for those that know the tarot, the strength card has a picture of a lion but also the goddess. Some people see the goddess as closing down the mouth of the lion. Some people see it as opening the mouth of the lion. Some people just see it as being brave enough to go into the very jaws of the lion. The lion being our animal self, our Salka, our human self, our emotions. This weekend, how are we choosing to perceive those? And leading into the full moon as well, how are we choosing to see our emotions? Are they the beauty? Are they the beast? Can they be both? Because when we feel something without the stories, or being aware of the stories but not getting lost in the stories, when we feel what is going on, underneath it all is an invitation to stand in our truest energy. Without for me, the need to make things humorous, to feel safe, or to downplay my gifts in order to not take myself too seriously. Being very aware of the energy right at the center of it all this weekend. So yeah, for me that would be to stand with confidence in what I do. It's always an invitation. We don't have to do these things. But if we want certain aspects to now end and take forward something, we'll be begging for it within a few weeks. We will be begging for these endings within a few weeks, because it is going to get not uncomfortable, but there are going to be contractions that are going to squeeze and expand us. When you think about muscle memory, right? When you think about exercise, what we do is we flex that muscle, and we are being flexed. Okay, so the more we can feel into that and work with our body rather than against it, the easier things are going to be. So I'm going to pull, because there isn't anybody here, I'm going to pull a couple of cards for the weekend. And just leave it at that. My eyes are feeling drawn to the picture in front of me of Hummingbird of Siwa Kenti, and there's a picture of it feeding from the hands, like almost like an angelic master, ascended master. I was going to say ancestral master. Interesting. Ascended master in front of me. Enjoying what we share for the beauty of it, for the unknown part of it, not getting too caught up in what is going on. Hi Marie, would you like a card for the weekend? I'm literally going to do a couple of cards for the weekend and then call it quits. So if you do, please put so in the comments. Yeah, just saying about sharing for the fun of it. being aware of the beauty of the unknown, the transitional space between change. Have a great weekend. You too, my love. Yeah, you too. Feels needed, right? Yeah, feels really needed. Okay, cards for the weekend. So, Four of Swords at the bottom of the pack. Really, really important this weekend to take a moment out. Now, if ever there was a card that spoke of transition, of being held in the nest, of tending to our heart, of feeling into what our body needs now, it's that card. Will do, Marie. Do you want one in general or anything specific? And feel free to message me privately if you want to as well. Yeah, taking a moment just to feel the security of being in our own body. You know, you can see that this character here is actually separate from her heart. And what happens when we disassociate from what's going on for whatever reason, and there's no judgment there, shit gets hard, right? But whenever we disassociate from whatever's going on, we separate from our heart and the wisdom that is there. So using this weekend as an opportunity to reconnect to that beautiful, beautiful truth within us all that is individual for us all. Okay. You haven't said if you want anything specific, Marie, so I'm just going to... Yeah, Two of Pentacles, general, please. Okay, so I'm going to look at this one first. Two of Pentacles, because this may very well be applicable also. I actually did an insight for the reading today and said, should I carry on doing the reading? And it did say that one person was going to turn up, and it was the Ace of Pentacles. So very much this weekend, but for whoever is watching this and for yourself as well, Marie, a chance of a new beginning here, not with this card, but with the overall energy that's available. But it needs roots. Yeah, it needs roots. So those roots come from caring for ourselves, caring for our needs, realigning to our heart, but also finding balance. It's one thing, you can see up here, it's one thing to ask the universe for something, but what physical steps are we putting in place as a result? Or it's one thing to do all the physical work, but not actually ask the universe for help or hand some of that over. So really important to have that balance this week, because it's the balance that's going to give any ideas roots. Because this is where we're finding ourselves, in between what was and in between what could be. So what do we need to feel comfortable in that often uncomfortable space? So Marie, reading in general. Oh, my eyes are being drawn to the gold on the picture above me, and there's a real emphasis here of knowing your worth, of knowing your value. And thank you for bringing that energy to the table, because it feels like that all over this weekend actually. Knowing your value, knowing your worth. And the artist that has painted the picture in front of me, their initials, it's Jane Delaford Taylor, so the initials are JDT, and there's something there about what you're giving out being reflected back. So the two initials at the beginning and the end, having that reflected back, having that mirrored. We can have things mirrored and automatically think, is that a reflection of where I am in a negative way? But what about the positive ways as well? To know our worth, to look at what is being reflected back to you as an opportunity to do so, but also recognizing what's in the very center of it all. The Page of Pentacles. Breaking down. Hi Kirsty, it's good to see you. How are you? I'd love a card for guidance if you feel it's appropriate. It's not, I always feel it's appropriate, Kathy, because you've asked. So yeah, let me know if it's a general or something specific. Marie, going back to your reading here, what's in the middle of it? Your ability to stand firm. Your ability to stand in your truth and your authenticity is at the very center of your own value here, very center of what you see and what you receive as a result, my love. I mean, yeah, exercise would help. We know that there's a few things going on physically, and if we look at things from a more mundane physical level, which can be necessary, exercise is going to be important. So maybe some stretching or some yoga or getting out in nature, going for a walk, that kind of thing, just to clear your head. However, what is your view of your health? What is your view of yourself? What version of yourself are you continuing to stand in? And is that giving you grounding and footing? Is it leaving you a little bit off balance? What is it you now need to take forward as a result? So with this card, in the book, there comes an incredible invitation to make 3 plans for 3 weeks, 3 months, and 3 years. And I'm going to hand that over to you as an invitation, Marie. What 3 things would you like to happen in the next 3 weeks? What steps can you make towards that? What 3 things would you like to happen in the next 3 months? What steps can you make towards that? And in the 3 years as well. Because it feels like there's a doubt here in your ability. So by breaking it down, by having logical steps, you're going to see just how much you are doing and how much you are capable of, but bring it down to smaller, more manageable things to avoid the overwhelm, because there's almost a temptation here to get involved in the overwhelm so that you don't know where to begin, so that it doesn't happen. I don't want to, I need to go along the lines of self-sabotage. So looking at that, what gains do you have in your life if these things that you want don't come to fruition? There'll always be a secondary gain there. So really looking at that energy this weekend is going to be important, so that you can acknowledge what version of yourself you're holding on to. Is that going to sustain the changes that you want to bring forward? Bring it back to yourself. What do you need? What do you need to start putting into place? My son and partner's initials. Oh, wow, interesting. You couldn't write that, right? Okay, how funny. I've been focusing on changing my health and how to improve my thought process. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Okay, so what would that look like in 3 weeks, 3 months, and 3 years, so that you can break it down, because otherwise it can become a bit overwhelming. And the thought process and the health, as we know, our thoughts have a huge impact on our health. So what can help your thoughts will also help your body. What helps your body will also help your thoughts there. So I hope that's helpful for you, Marie. And you know where I am if you want to work with any of it, if you want an accountability partner or whatever, because yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Okay, Kathy, I'd love a card for guidance if you feel it's appropriate. Yes, of course, Kathy. If you can let me know if you'd like a general card or anything specific, I would love to look at that for you. There is a little bit of a delay, I'm afraid, my end with the connections. No. Okay, so it's not with the connection, Kathy. There's not a delay with the connection. It's a delay with the equipment. Okay, so it'd be very interesting to see what kind of reading you want. But yeah, there's a definite need for equipment upgrade. You're very welcome, Marie. Very, very welcome. But yeah, getting out there, getting back. Sometimes it's important to get back to the physical, what we see as almost mundane, inconvenient things, right? If you can get your health on track and your thought process on track, then all these other bigger things that you're trying to work with can be more manageable. Chop wood, carry water, and all that, right? Are you still there, Kathy? General card would be lovely. Lovely. Okay. Right, I'm going to take the one that's poking its head out just underneath. So, when I say, are you still there? There's like almost like a temptation to come in and out of things. Also a feeling of being invisible when it comes to having your needs met, when it comes to having your prayers answered, when it comes to creating things that are good for you, that you may want. And it's almost like there's a stepping forward and then a little bit of a, root chakra's going, head chakra's going, everything feels a bit blurry, panic attacks almost, like an anxiety attack, because it feels as if I'm almost walking into a different energy. So wanting these things, stepping forward to get them and feeling the difference is almost making me want to step back, because it's very unusual, right? It's a little bit, type energy. Now I've pulled from the bottom of the Empress card here. Your wishes, your goals, your dreams are possible and very, very much supported, but they need to be nurtured by you, because within the nurturing of yourself and your dreams and your wishes, there's great medicine to have to bring forward for others. It feels as if it's to do with creativity. It feels as if it's to do with medicine woman type energy, but this is something we have yet to see, or at least needs to be in this world at the moment. It's a type of healing or way of being or offering that is very secretive and protected almost by you, quite rightfully so, but very needed in the world. So you are supported, but there's an invitation there, Kathy, to experience what it is you want to offer others, so that you can really understand the medicine, so that you can really embody it, because it's going to take it to a different level. There's a lot of people out there that talk a good talk. Kathy, you have the ability to actually walk and really be at one with what it is that you offer, and that's why it's important. And that you feel this the moment you take that step forward. There's such a change. It's like a different version of you. It isn't, It isn't a different version of you, and you don't have to get rid of any part of you unless you want to. They can merge beautifully. Yeah, you see here that the woman has the earth within her, but she's also the earth. They are one and the same. What you're trying to achieve is you. So often there's a phrase out there, I think it's by Ina May Gaskin, a wonderful midwife, that says humans are the only people that are actually frightened of delivery, of being, creating and giving birth to what they've created, feeling into where that may be a thing for you, okay, and nurturing that, applying what you know, and you know some, applying what you know to what you need now. Of course, you couldn't write this. So the card that was poking out from underneath is the World card. Yes, this is about standing in who you are, but it's for you to recognize who you are. The earth supports you 100%. Underneath it, you have the Seven of Pentacles. There's growth that has been had, but it's about you seeing that in how you apply what you have discovered to your own journey, because it's going to take it to another level. You know, when we talk about teaching and learning, we learn things, we heal things, we must apply them to recognize how far we've come, and that's the invitation for you in general, Kathy. Everything you've discovered, apply to your life now, because there's a wonderful opportunity for you to take that forward for others. But first and foremost, you have to know what it is you offer by recognizing who you are. I hope that helps. Beautiful, beautiful reading from the earth. Get back to connecting to the earth. Karen Truckle, I would love a card on career, work if you have time. I do have time. We have another 7 minutes. Okay, so Karen, very much standing in your own energy. I don't know if you go to, I'm not one to recommend medical stuff because I'm not allowed to, but I don't know if you go to a chiropractor or something like that, but there's stiffness in your neck and it needs exercising. It's all in the shoulders, and it's almost like it's stuck at a computer type energy. Go to see somebody about this so that you can be more flexible, because when you're more flexible in your spine, you're more flexible in your alignment, you're more flexible in your connection, and there's a bigger emphasis there of being more flexible. You ask, you're more than welcome, Kathy. You ask if I have time. That feels really important to acknowledge that the time is important, that you need to take the time here when it comes to career and to work. I'm being reminded of a banner that I saw, I think it was on LinkedIn, at a bus stop. Your job, you're replaceable to your job, but you're not replaceable in your home life, and that feels really important, to make time to ensure that there's a balance in your work life situation. Now, where does that balance come from? Well, I'm not going to get caught up in the hours that you do, or there feels as if there could be a temptation to have a guilt trip there. Find the balance within you. Make the time for you. Something as simple as going to sort out this neck thing, or ensuring that your body, again, it's the upgrading of the equipment, ensuring that your body is up to whatever it is you're trying to bring in on a career path is essential. Okay, so let's read into this, but it feels really important. The best way to acknowledge what you want to do with your career or with your work is to listen to your body. You already know the answers here. There's an element of trust in your ability to do it, and that's where I feel a real rock almost in my coccyx, a real rock down into my root chakra of standing and sitting quite firm in that. I don't know if you sit in a chair, but it would be quite advisable to get yourself a decent one and to walk around when you can. Okay, so you have several cards that have come out. You have the Lover's card, the Four of Pentacles, and the Ace of Wands. There's decisions here to be made in regards to money, and there is a scarcity, understandably, when it comes to money here, a holding on to the importance of money. Recognizing the impact that this is having, recognizing the impact that other people are having on regards to your view of money and any choices that you wish to make. Seeing this from a different perspective with the Ace of Wands here, allowing a new vision of what work means to you and where you can work from to come in. It's like you're getting little insights left, right and center, but there's always this feeling of, how can I make that decision? I don't have the money to do X, Y and Z. Have you tried? Again, what is it that's truly standing in the way for you in regards to the career? Feeling into that this weekend. Give yourself till the full moon, but feeling into that this weekend before you make any firm decisions, and allowing a new way to see the situation to come through. Putting it out there. I don't know how you feel about putting it out there to the universe, but asking for some signs, asking for an invitation of what you can do about your work, and keeping an eye out for what may be around you. There's guidance that you're taking here. It may not necessarily be the whatever guidance you seek, ensure that it comes from a place beyond someone's own expectations. Okay, so ensure that if you're going to ask questions from people, that they can give you an answer based on a more expansive view rather than just their own view. That's going to be quite important. Oh yes, I see a chiropractor. Good. I'm really pleased. Have you ever considered being something like a chiropractor or something? So it's almost like you know the importance of that and being flexible in your work role in regards to health as well. Okay, so there's something there. Let's have a little feel. We've got time. We have time. Make the time. That feels really important this weekend, to make the time and figure out what you want. From that point, seek advice and guidance from people that are open to different ideas and different ways of doing things, not just their own. Wait until the full moon. Feel into your emotions. Allow your body to guide you. Ensure that you are aligned. Acknowledge that a lot of the stuff that you've been receiving, things like chiropractor and all that kind of stuff, could actually be linked to what you offer. Wait for the answer. Okay, and what would that answer be? Put your hand out. Put your hand out and receive. Yeah, there's a bit of a block there in your ability to receive. So put your hand out to receive the guidance. King of Swords and the High Priestess, so, and the Seven of Wands just visible underneath. So this block to guidance is a defensive block, and it's needed to be a defensive block because, quite rightfully so, you know the answer from within. So it's connecting to an energy, a direct energy that helps you with that, your own included. So when you know, acting on that rather than questioning it from a defensive place. What if it doesn't work? My love, what if it does? Yeah, playing devil's advocate with your thought process here is going to be key, because it's an invitation for you to expand your vision of your work and career, and for you to expand your vision of yourself also. The intuitive messages that you're getting, 100%, but it is about acting on them now and watching that mind of yours, making sure that all your actions are aligned to a more, I'm going to say, constructive view of how you see yourself. I hope that helps. Okay, so we are 29 minutes this weekend, guys, feeling into what it is you want, feeling into how you see yourself. Are they aligned? Where do you need to up your game? Where perhaps is the belief a little bit wobbly there? Taking time in the discomfort, ensuring that your needs are met, so that there's new ways of being can come in. Sometimes we go back to old ways of being because it's comfortable, it's what we know, and we're bloody impatient and can't wait for the answers. So makes so much sense. Thank you. You are so welcome. Have the most incredible weekend, guys. I won't be here because I'm stepping back from social media as always. So sending you lots of love, and I will see you, maybe some of you, Monday with the musings. Take care and have a great weekend.